are joined by the one and only Bill O'Reilly. Uncle Bill in the house, everybody. He's got a new book out today, Confronting the President's No-Spin Assessments from Washington to Biden. Perfect timing to have him on with the release of the new book. Also go to BillO'Reilly.com for his no-spin news analysis there day in and day out. Bill, great to have you back. We got a debate tonight. How are you seeing it as we get ready here to watch these two intellectual combatants have at it on stage?
Well, the pressure's on Kamala Harris, but I don't believe the vice president is going to do anything different. So if you go to our website, the strategy is no matter what the issue, Trump bid it. So open borders and catastrophe stemming from that, it was Trump's immigration policies that did it. He doesn't want immigration reform. Inflation, Trump lighted the fuse for that. Afghanistan, it was Trump's policies misguided toward the Taliban that led to that. That's what Harris is going to put out there. So people should expect it. Now, with Donald Trump, you don't know what he's going to do, all right, which is always the drama when Trump appears anywhere. If it were me, and I wrote a message of the day and a column entitled The Kamala Mystery, if I were Donald Trump tonight, I would understand that no corporate media type is ever going to challenge or define Kamala Harris. So this is my chance to do it. And how you do it is this. So David Muir, the anchor of ABC News, he asked Trump a question, right? And Trump has to be polite tonight, number one. Polite. Should have that tattooed onto his wrist. Polite. Because, David, I'll get to that in a moment, but I want to tell the audience watching this evening that I'm very uneasy standing here on the stage as an American, not as somebody who's running for president, because I don't know what has happened the past 3.5 years. I don't know why the Biden-Harris administration opened the border, leading to millions of foreign nationals, some of them dangerous, coming into this country. I don't know. When I left office, that inflation was 1.4%, and it went to 9% in a year. I don't know why. So I hope you guys ask the vice president those questions, because I'd like to know. Now back to your question, David. You see what I mean? So he embarrasses and puts the moderators on the spot. He gets his point across that Kamala Harris hasn't defined anything, and then he can answer any questions they throw at him. So I don't know whether Donald Trump reads my stuff. I think he might, but if he does that, he'll win the election. If he does that.
We just had a big discussion about who's actually up for grabs here. And the data from 2020 reflects that Trump didn't actually underperform massively among black voters, Hispanic voters, any of those groups. He actually lost a lot of suburban women. And I think it's because they bought into the idea, and I think some of them are embarrassed, but they bought into the idea that COVID was going to kill everybody and that every school had to shut down and that Trump was uniquely unqualified to deal with COVID. Then Joe Biden came in and he tried to mandate COVID shots, and basically he flailed around for 3.5 years, and I think it's been an unmitigated disaster. Do you buy into some of those suburban women are still up for grabs? If not, which groups do you think are going to end up making this decision to who wins the election, and how would you suggest Trump should go after them?
I don't think that Trump should target any groups. I think that he should basically speak to everybody as an individual, one-on-one. I'm the former president. Here's what I did for you. Here's what I'm going to do if you vote for me. I wouldn't target various groups. I disagree a little bit with your analysis on women. I think that Donald Trump has a problem with American women because they don't like his demeanor. He's mean. And women take that much more personally than men. And I think that's a fact. And So it's not so much that they objected his COVID policy or whatever. And now women, the majority of American women, do the grocery shopping for the home. They got to know they're getting pounded. They got to know that discretionary income is way off. So it's a matter of Trump trying to reassure women that he's going to help them and their families if he's elected. And he's got to do it in a way that's not, you don't have to be provocative doing that. You don't say, look, you remember the old Saturday Night Live skit, right? Jane, you ignorant slut. Remember that? Dan Aykroyd? You guys don't remember that? You're too young?
Oh, yeah,
we
no,
remember.
Yeah, we were.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that Trump does a variation of that every time he talks about Harris. You don't need to do that. You just have to say, look, the woman doesn't have any problem-solving skills and won't even give an interview. And here's the kicker. I sent the book to Trump, Confronting the Presidents, because Trump's a friend of mine. And Trump's in the book, okay? And I sent him the note. I said, look, you might want to read this book because it's relevant to you today. Because Kamala Harris and her campaign is doing exactly what Warren Harding did in 1920. Exactly the same thing. She's not answering any questions about anything. And she believes she can win doing that. And Harding won. He beat the Democrats because the country was fed up with Woodrow Wilson. It was all personal. And Harding was a disaster. I mean, he was so bad it was almost laughable. And that's why the relevancy of my book to today is important. But anyway, Trump needs to be a human being up there, not a caricature. No matter how she tries to bait him, just use the old Reagan line to Jimmy Carter, 1980. There you go again. Just use it. And everybody at home will go, yeah, there she goes again. Listen, if it were you, Clay, or you, Buck, or me, O'Reilly, and we were on that stage against Kamala Harris, what do you think would happen?
Evisceration. She would be destroyed utterly.
It'd be a tough night for Kamala.
It would, because you do this for a living. I do this for a living. We analyze what is actually happening without crazy emotion. And that's what Trump has to do. Now, he's been told that 1 million times. But whether he can bring discipline to his presentation, I think he will. He's got to know this is his shot because he should be 10 points up.
Now, how are you feeling about where Trump is right now in the momentum shift, Bill? I mean, the polls now, some of them are showing Trump ahead a little. Some of them are showing in the swing states basically a tie within the margin of error, but better than Trump was doing in 2020 at this point, better than Trump was doing in 2016 at this point when he won. Are you feeling confident, or do you still have concerns that Trump's going to have to turn on the afterburners here to get it done?
I think it's a dead heat. And I think that Donald Trump has to cut down on his rhetorical mistakes. If he does that, he probably will eke it out, because I don't believe Kamala Harris has any game at all. If you want to do a sports metaphor, what has she got? Tell me what she's got. Tell me one thing, just one thing, that's better now than it was 4 years ago when Trump left office. Just give me one. But that's the kind of stuff you've got to present to the American people. You got to just get it down to the basic level and stop with all this crazy stuff about skin color and unmarried people and cats and dogs. This is insane. You just say, hey, you're an American. You're living your life. Is anything in your life better now than it was when I was there? And the answer is no. All the polls show that. So I'm a simple man. You guys know that. And it's a miracle that a simple man like Bill O'Reilly can be the best-selling nonfiction author in the world. But simplicity can go a long way.
That's not a bad line to be able to drop. Congratulations. I know you got a new book coming out.
Today.
What do you today, in fact, yes, and I'm sure it will be a bestseller.
Confronting
as well.
the presidents on the day of the debate, Clay, no less. Almost like it was all
Not
planned.
not bad
Yeah.
timing at all. All right. So we talked about how CNN's moderators basically vanished on June 27th to a large extent and allowed the story to be Trump versus Biden. And obviously,
Right.
Biden's mental and physical cognition revealed itself.
Right.
Do you think ABC's moderators will do the same, or tomorrow morning when everybody is assessing and later tonight as everybody breaks down, do you think the ABC moderators make themselves a part of this debate, or do they kind of fade into the background as CNN did?
Excellent question.
Right?
So, as I reported the day after the CNN debate that sunk Biden, the moderators, Tapper and Bash, were told, you better be fair. Your job's on the line. So they were scared to death, and they were neutral. When Dana Bash interviewed Kamala Harris, she turned in a poor performance because she didn't follow up.
Mm-hmm.
She refused to. She allowed evasions. So tonight, you got David Muir, not known for being a very astute interviewer. Would you both agree with that?
Yes.
He is very handsome, though, as Clay says, Bill, just so you know.
He is
Clay's a
incredibly
big fan of
handsome,
his
and he
handsomeness.
does have the most popular ABC, the news broadcast. He's very good at reading
newsreader,
glass.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
reads glass well.
So you guys know I worked as a correspondent for ABC News under Peter Jennings. And I knew Koppel, and I knew the whole the whole network there. Muir is a good news reader. All right? He says tonight 15 times in the first 5 minutes of that broadcast. Tonight. So that means he's not writing the script. Somebody's writing it for him. I've never seen David Muir do an interview that I went, whoa. But maybe he will rise to the occasion. The other one, Lindsay Davis, is a liberal woman. There's no question about that. She comes at it from a sensibility of race and gender. She'll probably be a little feistier. But do I expect either of them to push Kamala Harris or point out that she's evading? No. However, I do know that the CEO of Disney, which owns ABC News, has issued instructions, not himself, through his minions, that they better not show any overt bias against Trump. And these are two individuals who are not going to go against the power. So I don't expect any overt bias. I expect them to just accept what Kamala says. And here's a good question for them, if they're listening to Clay and Buck, which they should be. Kamala Harris's basic campaign now is, we're going to start a new direction. Why do you need a new direction? You just told us that Joe Biden's the greatest president since Lincoln. Why are we going in a new direction? Why? Isn't that fantastic? Again, simple question. That's your whole campaign. Oh, we're going in a new direction. Hello, hey, joy. We're going to have a lot of joy. What? So if Biden was so great, why are you doing a new direction? You see, these are the kind of stuff that can make a difference. But I don't expect that to be asked or anything close to it.
Bill, the book is out. It is fantastic. We appreciate you coming on with us, Confronting the President's No Spin Assessments from Washington to Biden. Enjoy the debate. We will talk to you again soon. You can also check out BillO'Reilly.com. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me in, guys. Always a pleasure.
Always.
You know, Buck, Joe Biden needed on June 27th a little bit of testosterone in his life, and maybe you wouldn't be having to buy me a steak, and maybe he would still be the nominee out there right now for the Democrat Party. Instead, he walked out on the stage, no vitality, no exceptional energy. He looked like a dead man walking. If you don't want to look like Joe Biden on June 27th and put forward the worst debate performance in the history of the United States, maybe you could put a little testosterone back into your life with Chalk's all-natural male vitality stack. It augments the natural energy source your body produces and has natural ingredients. And also, by the way, it would even help the NPR guys. We talked about this the other day. The NPR guys got their testosterone tested, and it probably is not going to surprise you. They tested subnormal, like almost off the charts beta male. If you want some energy and some vitality, and you don't want to be like Joe Biden on the stage or like an NPR reporter, you should check out Chalk right now. CHOQ.com. Use my name, Clay. Massive discount on any subscription for life. You can cancel at any time. I can't guarantee that you're going to rip out 10 reps of 185 like I did, because frankly, not everyone is a superhuman beast like me. But I can guarantee you that it will help you. You can call or text 50-CHALK-3000. Say Clay and Buck sent me. That's 50-CHALK-3000. Chalk's U.S.-based customer service team standing by ready to assist you. 50-CHALK-3000. Do it today.